What is the future of Star Wars? Hey, it's me, AP, and welcome to the Saturday Movie Show. I hope you're all having a lovely Saturday today. And yeah, we're going to talk about Star Wars. We're going to talk about what is in the future of the Star Wars universe, what we're going to see from movies and TV shows. Last week, we had the Disney Investor Day, and I talked briefly about it in last week's show, the Star Wars upcoming movies and TV projects, but today I want to dedicate a whole Saturday movie show to discussing what is going to be in the future of Star Wars. And I want to take a look at all of the upcoming projects that are coming out of Disney and the Star Wars property. So it's going to be a very exciting show. It is going to be the last show of 2020 for me today as well. I'm going to be taking a little short break over the Christmas period, and I will be back in 2021. But hey, let's just get to the show. Let's get discussing some Star Wars. So I must just also add, before we move on with this show, there will be spoilers for the Mandalorian Season 2 finale in this show. So if you've not caught up with the Season 2 finale at this moment in time, I do encourage you to watch it before we're watching this show. So spoilers will be coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The point of no return has been reached. Spoilers will be ahead in this episode. You have been warned. So first of all, let's just look at the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. And I'm going to sort of splash in and out of Star Wars stuff here, different Star Wars properties. So basically, we see in the finale that Grogu, Baby Yoda Grogu, does get saved. He gets saved by not Mando and his team. They partially save him, but we see an alone New Republic X-Wing arrive to help them, and out steps a mysterious figure. And then we see a lightsaber, a green lightsaber, and then again we see this lone figure with the green lightsaber. We all know who it is at this point, or we think we know who it is, and surely enough we are correct if you know your Star Wars. We see this lone figure take down all these dark troopers, destroys them all, makes it look dead easy, and then he goes to the door where Mando lets him through the doors, and then we see none other than Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. And in this, it is played by Mark Hamill. They've used de-aging technology. He is in the credits at the end of the Mando Season 2 finale. Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker, a Luke Skywalker who looks very much like Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. It's very much that look. He's got the dark cloak on, the dark Jedi robes. He looks great. The de-aging technology, I think, look better than what we've seen with the likes of. So let's go to Rogue One. We've seen Grand Admiral Moff Tarkin. We see him recreated, and I wasn't fussed on the technology they used there. Obviously, they got a different actor to play that role. And we then seen in Rogue One, we see General Leia at the end, and again, it's played by a different actress, and they put Carrie Fisher's face on the actress. I wasn't fussed with that either. Here, I thought this type of de-aging, where they've took Mark Hamill, his acting performance, and just put a younger version of him on that face, I thought it was okay. I thought it was a lot better than what I've seen in the past. I would say it's more on par with what they've done in the Ant-Man movies. And funny enough, this was actually directed by Peyton Reed, I believe, who directed the Ant-Man movies. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the look of it. I thought I didn't expect to see Luke Skywalker as the savior. You know, we've seen it in earlier episodes of The Mandalorian where Grogu is on the stone, where he's trying to reach out to more Jedis, more Force users, and that would be then Luke Skywalker heard the call for help to come and find Grogu, and he comes to find him, and he saves him, and he saves them all basically, and it was really cool. And we see R2-D2, he arrives as well, and Grogu, who Grogu's kind of like on the fence about going with Luke, and Luke says to Mando, he wants your permission, he wants your permission to go with him, and then we see Mando Din Djarin take off his mask to Grogu, shows him his face, and it was a touching moment. I really enjoyed that moment. It was like a tearing up moment, and I really enjoyed it. And then we see Grogu go off to see R2D2. He sees R2, and it's like a familiar face. He knows that. It feels like he knows R2, and this goes back now to who saved. First of all, who saved Grogu from Order 66? And looking at this now, it looks more like it was potentially R2D2 who saved him. And I'm sure we'll find out more about that in upcoming seasons of The Mandalorian. But, I mean, how huge is this? We see Luke Skywalker. The way I felt with The Mandalorian in the first season, I felt like they were stepping away from the Star Wars canon and away from the Skywalker saga. But here in this series, in season 2 particularly, we see a lot of treads to the past. We see Boba Fett, his return. We see Ahsoka Tano, who is linked very much, not so much to the Skywalker saga in the movies, but within the shows, she's very much up there with Anakin Skywalker. She's his friend, he's a mentor. But here we see in the finale, we see Luke Skywalker. So in season 3 alone, we've seen 3, or I suppose you could say 4 with R2, 4 massive connections to the movies and TV shows, but 3 mainly to the movies in Luke Skywalker, in Boba Fett, and in R2D2. These are 3 huge connections, and where I thought initially that the Mandalorian wasn't going to be so much linked to the Skywalker saga, it feels like this season it is very much so lent on a lot of the material and a lot of the elements of that with featuring these characters. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? I think it's, as a fan, I'm excited as a fan, right? Okay, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm excited as a fan. It was a cool moment to see Luke Skywalker. The question is now, where do we move forward with season 3 of The Mandalorian? Now, I want to just take a stop there for now, and first of all, I want to look at, as we said in this episode, it's going to be about the future of Star Wars. I want to talk about every upcoming project that is coming in Star Wars. So let's have a little look at, these are all the so far announced projects for the Star Wars Disney universe. So we've got the Obi-Wan TV show, we've got the Ahsoka Tano TV show, we've got Rangers of the New Republic, and we've got the Mandalorian Series 3. Just a quick one. The Ahsoka TV show, Obi-Wan, and Rangers of the New Republic, they are all live-action shows. And the Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka Tano are going to be within the Mandalorian universe. So they're all set within that same Mandalorian timeline, which is exciting. Then we get Andor, the Cassian Andor TV show. We've got the Acolyte, which will be based in the High Republic era, which is set like 200 years ago, 200 years before the prequel movies. And we've got some books and graphic novels coming out of the High Republic, based on the High Republic era, coming out soon as well. So the Acolyte is going to be another live-action TV show that is linked within that High Republic era. We don't know that much more about that as of yet, because we don't know much about the High Republic as of yet. We then get The Bad Batch will be an animated show. We've got the Lando show. Again, at this moment in time, we don't know who is going to play Lando in the show. We don't know if it's going to be live action or an animated. It's very much up in the air with that one as of yet. We have Star Wars Visions. Visions, by the sounds of it, is going to be something of not a TV show that is like a canon show. It's going to be more like a what if series that they're doing with Marvel. And so we might get sort of ideas of like potential storylines that could have happened. Maybe, like, for instance, like Darth Vader doesn't die, or Palpatine doesn't get thrown down the big drop. So that's going to be very much what that show, well, it's where it sounds like it's going to be. Then we're getting a droid story. Then we're getting the Book of Boba, which was announced in the credits of the post-credit scene in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. we see Boba Fett going into Jabba the Hutt's palace, and we see him taking on the throne of Jabba the Hutt, and then it is announced that of December 2021, we are going to get the Book of Boba, a TV show, live-action show of Fennec and Boba Fett, and it's going to be the adventures of Boba Fett moving forward, which I'm really, really excited to see. On the movie side of things, we've got the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie. I believe that is 2023, and the Taika Waititi movie. We know very little about those movies. We know only the title of the Patty Jenkins one. Taika Waititi's movie we know nothing about. We don't know what the name of it is or who's going to feature, what it's going to be about. So that is very much up in the air at the moment. So it's going to be, I'm sure over the next year or two, we're going to find out a bit more about those projects in particular. But Star Wars now, at this very moment in time, feels like they're going like full on with the Star Wars TV universe. And this is exciting because I like seeing, for me, each one of the Mandalorian episodes has been like a mini movie. Especially that last episode, it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see more from The Mandalorian. And The Mandalorian series season 3 has already been confirmed, and they're saying initially what Disney was saying, it was going to be December 2021. But now we've just had the announcement of the Book of Boba, which will be the Boba Fett spin-off series. And they've also said this is going to be in December 2021 as well. So what I think what will happen now, I suspect that The Mandalorian Season 3 will be pushed back slightly, it's going to be pushed back or before. I think it's more than likely they're going to be set after the Boba Fett TV show, and I think we'll most likely see The Mandalorian Season 3 in 2022, early 2022. They may surprise us, they may do it beforehand, but I think with all these different projects coming up for Disney, in particular for Disney Plus, I think just separating them a bit, I don't see any point in having two Mandalorian featured shows on at the same time. I've read a few rumours on the internet everyone's saying the Book of Boba will be the Season 3 of Mandalorian, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think the Mandalorian Season 3 will be its own thing, and the Book of Boba will be its own thing as well. So we've got that, and as I said, Fennec and Boba Fett, both those characters and the cast members who've played them in the live-action versions will both be returning as well, which is really good. We've got the Ahsoka Tano TV show coming up. Again, this is going to be set in the Mandalorian universe as well. Dave Filoni, who created that character, he will be the helmet of the show. He will be in charge, the showrunner of the show, and that'll be really good. We've got Rosario Dawson returning as well. Mando Series 3. Let's get back to the Mando then. So we see in the end of this episode, the finale of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, that Mando now has the Darksaber, and we learn more about the Darksaber as well. So basically, he gives it to Bo-Katan, but Bo-Katan then, it's revealed that the only way you can truly hold the Darksaber and wield it is if you win it in battle. So Mando wins it in a battle against Moff Gideon. He is now the person who is the owner of the Darksaber, and the only way he can lose that Darksaber, he can't give it away, he can't yield it to someone, he has to be defeated in battle. So the only way Bo-Katan is going to get that is to defeat Mando. So this leads into the idea of what Season 3 will be of The Mandalorian. I think it is going to be based along the lines of all this, the Mandalore, the planet Mandalore, and who is the rightful heir of Mandalore. And it's all going to be based around the Darksaber, I think partially anyway. I think Bo-Katan, potentially, we're going to see like a civil war by the looks of things here. It feels like it's going that way, that direction. It feels like that is the direction we're going to see. So we're going to essentially, hopefully, get The Mandalorian Season 3, which will be a civil war of Mandalorians. And I think that is a really interesting idea, because it shifts away from the battle of Mando versus the Empire, or the remnants of the old Empire, and it shifts it into something fresh and a fresh new story that we've not seen in a live-action Star Wars property before. So having Mandalorians versus other Mandalorians, and having the villain being not a villain of evil, but just a Mandalorian, a person in Bo-Katan who just wants to take the Darksaber so she can help unite all her people, all the Mandalorians, because that is her mission. She wants to sit on the throne of Mandalore, and she wants to unite Mandalorians. Mandalorian is very much like a religion, but there's tons of different subdivisions within the Mandalorians, as we've heard of in this show. So she wants to unite all Mandalorians, and her having the Darksaber is vital to that. And I feel that is definitely going to be one of the big stories moving into season 3. Whether it be the whole story, I imagine there's going to be plenty of other story threads within that show and within season 3, but I think it will be exciting if they do go down that route, and I'm really excited to seeing what they do, and I'm fairly positive that Bo-Katan will be featured in season 3 of The Mandalorian, definitely. The other side of things then, so we got season 3, Mandalorian, that's going to happen. Where does Grogu and Luke Skywalker fit into things here now? So we see Grogu go off with Luke and R2. Is he going to feature in The Mandalorian moving forward? And I think there is no doubt about it that Baby Yoda, Grogu, is going to feature in season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now, where do we put Grogu in now? He is such a likeable character, even though he doesn't say anything, but Disney are not going to want to get rid of Grogu because he's selling merchandise for Disney. He is a very likable property for them, so there's no doubt they want to feature him in season 3. Now he is within the new Jedi Order, though, with Luke. He's been trained by Luke. We've seen in The Last Jedi where this story goes with the new Jedi Order that Luke is starting here. We see that Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, destroys it all, and it all burns to the ground. Now, hopefully, Grogu was not being burnt to the ground by Kylo Ren, and Grogu lives on to be an old age, like his master, like Yoda before him. So, in season 3, as we've got the Civil War of the Mandalorians, hopefully, I think we're going to see the start of that Jedi Academy that Luke started. I think for them to feature Mark Hamill here, I would be interested to see a bit more of Mark Hamill, and I'm sure Mark Hamill would love to return as that Luke Skywalker character again, and the Luke Skywalker before the new sequels of movies. I think it's from interviews that Mark Hamill has put out throughout the new trilogy of movies, he wasn't a fan of the direction, especially in The Last Jedi movie. So I think he would be interested to come back as Luke Skywalker. We might not see him in a massive amount of screen time, but I'm sure we'll see Luke Skywalker in season 3 of The Mandalorian, and I think we will no doubt. I think Grogu will be trained as a Jedi, but I think he will choose to then go back to Mando and become a Mandalorian. I think at the end of this series, at the end of The Mandalorian as a whole series, I think Baby Yoda, Grogu, is going to be in full Mandalorian mask armor, and he is going to be the man with the Darksaber. I think that's the way it's going to go, and it's going to be a passing of the torch of Mando to Grogu somehow. I think because he's pretty much his son, he is his father, and I think that is the way the Mandalorian is going to finish, or it's going to end with something like that in that ilk. So I think that is the way Grogu sort of gets brought back into things in Mandalorian season 3. Maybe like the Mando visits the temple, just see how he's doing, and then we see him wanting to go back with Mando, and Luke says he wants to be with you, he wants to be with his father. And that is when Grogu joins back with Mando, and then we see the reunited. So I'm excited. Season 3 is going to be absolutely phenomenal, I'm sure. So the next property I want to talk about is the Obi-Wan TV show. And we know now that it's going to be Ewan McGregor starring in it as Obi-Wan, and Hayden Christensen is going to be returning as Darth Vader. Now, I mentioned the show briefly last week. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm intrigued to see what they do, especially with Hayden's return as Darth. It'll be really good. I'm looking forward to it. But I want to just talk more about Hayden Christensen's return. Hopefully, this will see him return not only as Darth Vader, but also as Anakin Skywalker in future properties of the Star Wars universe. So, as I said, we've got the Ahsoka Tano TV show. It's going to be headed by Dave Filoni. He was very prominent. He was the creator of the Clone Wars. And I would like to think that maybe he's thinking in his mind that Hayden can return as a Force ghost within the Ahsoka Tano TV show. And I know nothing's been announced as of yet as a date when the Ahsoka Tano TV show is coming out, but I think that would be really cool to see him return. We've never seen a live action interaction of Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker. So if we see a Force Ghost version of him and Ahsoka Tano in that TV show, I'm sure fans would absolutely love that. Everyone wants to see. Again, I've not really watched much of the Clone Wars, Rebels, none of them shows. I'm only like 2 seasons in to the Clone Wars, so I'm not fully aware of the whole story of things, but I'm aware of the character connection, and I would really like to see the live action interaction of those characters, and it can be done. It can be done as him as a Force Ghost, so that will be interesting to see if that does happen. And again, we don't know much about this show yet. This is more likely to come in 2022, the Ahsoka Tano TV show. So I'm sure we'll hear more in the meantime and more about that nearer the time of release. But yeah, I would love to see that. I think it would be great. I think it would be good for fans. Fans would really like it. And it feels like now Disney are starting to get Star Wars right for fans, and I think they've shown that with season 3, The Mandalorian. Whereabouts you stand, I don't know where you stand on the Luke Skywalker return and the Boba Fett return, but for me as a fan, I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was enjoyable Star Wars moments. I think adding Luke Skywalker in there could be potentially seen as a big risk because it overshadows the Mandalorian character, but I think it would to a degree where it wasn't overshadowing. I felt like Din had his moment with Baby Yoda, so it didn't overshadow too much. I didn't feel like Boba Fett overshadowed Mando, and I'm really excited for the way it's set up a solo series for Boba Fett as well. So it is very exciting. So next up, as I said, we've got the Taika and Patty Jenkins movies coming up. So I'm not going to really discuss them any further. But what we have now, as I said, is the Acolyte TV show. Now, this is going to be based in the High Republic era. As I said, the High Republic era is based 200 years before the prequel movies. So, Phantom Menace, 200 years before that. Now, the High Republic era, at this moment in time, we are set to have some books released on the High Republic era. So, once them books have been released, we will have a better idea of what that era was about and what the High Republic is all about, really. So, we're being told that the Acolyte is going to be based on a Sith apprentice, and it is going to be based in the latter years of the High Republic era. At this moment in time, we don't know any more than that, really. And we don't have a date. There's no date at the moment. So again, these projects that Disney announced at the Disney Investor Day, they're saying these are projects for the next 10 years. So realistically, the Acolyte might not happen for another 4 or 5 years. It might even be like 6 years. We don't know. At this moment in time, things could change as well. We might see changes, but I'm hoping that's not the case, and I hope we do see this happen. But it will be a live action show, and I'm interested just to see more from this new era, the High Republic era, and I think we will see more over the coming years of the High Republic era. I think it's an era that they're going to base a lot more properties within. I think when Rian Johnson was scheduled to feature in doing his own trilogy of movies, we don't know any more about Rian Johnson's role in Star Wars moving forward, but maybe his movies were going to be set in this era. We don't know yet, and maybe we will see a film series within the High Republic era at some point as well. I'm sure we will see more and more properties based in this era moving forward. But I think it's just the starting steps of this universe and the starting steps of the storytelling within that world of Star Wars now. So it's just baby steps. It's baby steps of Star Wars, but they're doing something new, which is good. It's a good thing. It's exciting. The intrigue is the best thing about it because we don't know anything about it, and that's what gets me really excited about this idea of the Acolyte. And we don't know much about the characters. Are we going to see a young Master Yoda in this series? We don't know. We don't know much about it at the moment, so it will be interesting. So they are all the properties I wanted really to touch upon. As I said, I've mentioned all the shows and movies that are in production at this moment in time, but I want to talk about a few big questions on my mind. So as I said, returns I want to see in Star Wars moving forward. Right, okay. Big returns I want to see. First of all is Crimson Dawn, the faction, the what can you call them? A villain society that was featured within the Solo movie, and it is headed by Darth Maul. I would like to see something more from that. I want to see Darth Maul in live action. I want to see a live action return. I know he gets killed in one of the animated shows, so his story has been told. But as with Star Wars, we can go back and fill in more stories within the universe, and it would be ace to see another live action attempt at Darth Maul. They were obviously going to do something with Darth Maul. That's why he was teased at the end of Solo, and maybe it's a case where the Lando TV show is a place where we feature Darth Maul and Crimson Dawn, the evil society he was the leader of. So that'll be interesting. That is something I want to see, a big return I want to see. I want to see another Darth Vader live action appearance. I want to see more Darth Vader, in all honesty. I know some people will probably be a bit fed up with Darth Vader. They feel like we've had enough Darth Vader, but I would like to see more Darth Vader. I'd actually love to see a Darth Vader TV show and just tell some stories of Darth Vader before the movies or just in between the movies as well. More of his adventures, because I'm sure I know there's a big comic book series running on Darth Vader, and I know a lot of people like it. And I think it would be great to see a live action Darth Vader TV show, and I'm sure it's something a lot of fans would like to see. I'm sure I'm not the only one who would like to see a Darth Vader TV show. And again, it's with the return of Hayden Christensen. Maybe this is like the starting motion of getting a Darth Vader TV show. I'm hoping, or just even more appearances of Darth Vader. I want to see more Darth Vader, basically. That's what I want to see. We're going to get a live-action version of Grand Admiral Thrawn, hopefully, and I imagine that is going to be within the Mandalorian TV universe. More particular, I think it's going to be in the Ahsoka Tano TV show. Because when she was featured within the Mandalorian Season 2 episode she was featured in, she mentioned his name. So it looks like that is the way they're going to go. He's going to be the villain within that show. And maybe he'll be the villain across multiple shows. Who knows? Who knows as of yet? But let's just get on to the last thing I want to talk about. It's Luke Skywalker again. I've touched on it many a times. I'm just going to grab a quick coffee, guys. Quick coffee. I need a coffee. Luke Skywalker. Do I want to see more of Luke Skywalker? Mark Hamill's version of Luke Skywalker? And the answer is yes. As much as I keep on mentioning it, and I keep on saying it's nice to see new properties based away from the Skywalker saga. And I'm honest, that is true. That's why I liked The Mandalorian at first, because it was set. It didn't feel like it was connected so much to the Jedi and the Skywalker saga. But now we've seen him come back in the Mando Season 2 finale. Do I want to see more of Luke Skywalker? And I feel like I do. I do want to see more Luke Skywalker, as much as we've seen plenty of Luke Skywalker, and we know Luke Skywalker's end and beginning. We know the story now. But again, it's the same thing with Darth Maul. If there's a good story to tell, hopefully we'll see it now. And I feel like with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni running things with The Mandalorian, and the TV show side of things, especially live action anyway. I feel like if they are the right people to get Star Wars right. And that's where I enjoyed the sequel trilogy, but I feel like maybe it could have been better, and there was things, looking back at it now, that weren't amazing, and they could have been better, basically. And hopefully with the Star Wars TV universe, so far they've got it right. They've got it right with like teasing the Book of Boba, the Mandalorian 2 seasons of that have been amazing, and the finale was amazing, and they've introduced some really interesting characters along the way as well. So hopefully, if they do introduce more scenes of Luke Skywalker, they'll get it right. And the way they got him right in the season finale of him just being a complete badass, the way they returned Boba Fett and made him a complete badass, and really just added more layers to that character and made them more special within the Star Wars universe for us fans. So if they feature Luke Skywalker, I'm happy as long as they do it right. And hopefully, with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni in charge of things at Disney, they will get it right, hopefully that is the case. So yeah, I'm more than happy to see more Luke Skywalker, and even a de-aged Luke Skywalker as well. I'm happy to see that. Or if you want, we can get the Winter Soldier, get him in, get Sebastian Stan in just in case. Yeah, I'm sure he could do it as well, just as good. So that is the show for today. But it's not all the show, because as I say, it's something of a Christmas show today. I've not got a Christmas hat on, but sure, it's still a Christmas show. So we're going to do the quiz as always, the movie quiz at the very end of the show. And as I said, this will be the last show of the year. I'm going to be celebrating Christmas, having a few weeks off over Christmas, and we'll be back in 2021 with the Saturday Movie Show. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in over the past couple of weeks of starting the podcast. Something that I've always wanted to do was starting a podcast, and it was always a case where I couldn't find the right topic to start a podcast about. And this year, I've really moved into talking about movies more so on this channel. I'm really enjoying it. I love doing this show, and I love talking about movies. And I just want to say thank you for all of you that have watched the show and commented, liked the show. Thank you very much, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, let's get on to the last movie quiz of 2020. I've got the questions here. As always, it will be 6... Oh, I've got last week's questions here. Let me get the right questions. Here we go. We got the questions. We got 6 questions for today's movie quiz. You don't need a pen and paper. All you have to do is I'll go through all the questions. You answer them in your head. At the end, I'll go through the 6 questions again, giving the answers. You let me know your answers in the comments below if you want. Let me know how many you got right. I'm really intrigued to find out, and just get involved. This is for the Saturday Movie Show community. This is for the community that we're all building here, and we're all commenting, we're all liking, we're all talking about. It's a movie community for movie fans, and I want you to get involved. So let's start the quiz. First question number 1. Who voiced Sonic in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie released this year? Question number 1 again. Who voiced Sonic in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie released this year? Question number 2. Who wrote the music score to the Back to the Future trilogy? Question number 2 again. Who wrote the musical score to the Back to the Future trilogy? Who wrote the musical score? Question number 3. In the 1985 movie Santa Claus the Movie, who played Patch, the creative and inventive elf? Go over that. Question number 3 again. In the 1985 movie Santa Claus the Movie, who played Patch, the creative and inventive elf? Question number 4. Who voiced the Grinch in the 2018 movie The Grinch? Question number 4 again. Who voiced the Grinch in the 2018 movie The Grinch? Question number 5. Which professional wrestler was casted as the Giant Santa in the 1996 movie Jingle All the Way? I'll have that question again. Which professional wrestler was cast as the Giant Santa in the 1996 movie Jingle All the Way? And the last question, question number 6. In the Star Wars Holiday Special, which day was being celebrated? Let me give it that again because I rushed it a bit there. Question number 6. In the Star Wars Holiday Special, the original Holiday Special, which day was being celebrated? They're the questions for today. Let's go through the questions and let's give you the answers. Let me know how you did. So question number 1. Who voiced Sonic in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that was released this year? The answer was Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz, the guy who was from Parks and Recreation, he voiced Sonic the Hedgehog. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that right. Question number 2. Who wrote the musical score to the Back to the Future trilogy? The person who wrote the score was Alan Silvestri, gentleman who wrote the score for the 2 Avengers movies, the Infinity War and Endgame movies. He wrote the score for them movies. Fantastic score guy. He's a fantastic composer. Let me know if you got that right. Alan Silvestri. Question number 3. In the 1985 movie, the Santa Claus the movie, who played Patch the creative and inventive elf? Question to the answer is Dudley Moore played Patch. That is Dudley Moore for question 3. Question number 4. Who voiced the Grinch in the 2018 movie The Grinch? The gentleman who voiced the Grinch was Benedict Cumberbatch. He voiced the Grinch in the Grinch 2018 movie. Question number 5. Which professional wrestler was cast as the Giant Santa in the 1996 movie Jingle All the Way? That person was Paul White, aka The Big Show, or aka The Giant, as he was known in WCW at the time, or WWE as The Big Show. That is Paul White, played Giant Santa. Question number 6, the final question. In the Star Wars Holiday Special, which day was being celebrated? The answer to that question is Life Day. Let me know if you got that right. Let me know how many questions you got on the quiz, and I hope you enjoyed today's quiz, and let me know what you think is going to be in the future of Star Wars. What projects haven't been announced that you think that might happen, and what project are you most excited about moving forward with Star Wars? Thank you very much for watching today's show. I hope you all have a lovely Christmas and hope you all stay safe over the Christmas period. Enjoy it. Just have a wonderful time. Put smiles on your face of yourself and others, and just have a great time. Thank you for watching the show today. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I'm just going to finish this with a big thumbs up and saying, have a great Saturday.